to this week's EOS Fireside Chat. We're hosting it in Discord this week, but as always, restreaming to Twitter and YouTube at the same time. So we got a nice episode lined up for you guys. Although kind of my co-host Zach is not with us today. He's on a well-deserved vacation right now. But we do have Yves Larose joining us. We've got NS James also joining us today, newest member of the ENF, and of course a bunch of other EOS community members in the chat with us today. So today we'll be talking a bit about some Discord stuff, the pop token raffle that's going on at the end of the show. We'll be talking about Consensus 22 branding, and with Brandon going out there, leaving tomorrow. Like I mentioned, Nathan James has joined the ENF. We'll be talking about that. Aaron Cox is in the house today. He'll be sharing some Greymass updates. We may touch upon a bit some ENF grant updates, the balance launch on Defibox, and some Boid Avatars that are now live for everyone, launched by Boid, of course. And we've got John from Boid with us today to talk about that. So before we get into the bigger topics, I wanted to remind you guys that today is the draw for the Pop Token monthly raffle for the month of May. So you can go to blend.gems.io and blend 5 Pop Tokens into your raffle ticket. You'll also see the June raffle ticket that's on there. That blend is not live yet, but it will be after the show today. So your May ticket can still be blended for another 50 minutes. So at 4 p.m. Eastern, in just 50 minutes, that blend is gonna close. Then we'll do the draw at the end of the show, and then the June tickets are gonna be open to be minted for those who want. So today for the raffle, we've got 25 prizes of 5 EOS each to hand out. If there's more than 25 entries, and some of you may not win the prize, but you will get a Party Cracker NFT. And then also everyone who's holding a raffle ticket at the end of the show, we've also got a bonus prize this week from John from Oldtimers project on EOS, and he's donating 3 of his NFTs, which is a new collection he released this week. So we got some fun prizes for you guys at the end of the show. Like I mentioned, there's now a voice chat integrated into this voice event, a text chat. So you can find that top right corner in the Discord event. That's where we'll be having most of our discussions about the show moving forward. But for today, we're still set up on the stream chat channel. So Yana is streaming the stream chat discussion on YouTube and Twitter. So if you have comments, questions, whatever, I encourage you for this time to still put that up in the stream chat, and also enter the pop token giveaway, like I said, by entering your EOS account name with a money sign in front of it in stream chat. Moving forward, we'll try to move all this chatting to the voice chat channel. Okay, and final thing that I'll be trying to do today is invite people directly to join in the conversation, ask them what they think on various stories. You may not have any comments or whatever, just trying to get more participation. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so starting off, is Brandon here with us at this point? Love, joy, yes, Brandon in the house. How are you doing today, Brandon?
Good. How are you? How's everyone? I'm in the
Good,
house.
yeah, I'm good. Excited for today's show, and excited for your upcoming trip to Consensus. So I think it's going to be the first time in a while or ever that EOS has a nice or somewhat of a presence at Consensus 2022. We don't EOS doesn't have a booth or anything like that, but there are various community members that are going to be out there, and then Lovejoy is also going to be out there representing the ENF. So what we thought we'd do a bit today to get the show started was kind of discuss some branding strategies or some powerful memes that we could give Brandon for him to use to describe the state of EOS to the community and to the people that he'll be meeting over the next few days. So obviously, Consensus 2022 is the Ethereum event. So those people are going to be very heavily inside the Ethereum ecosystem, and they probably don't have an accurate portrayal of what the EOS network and community is all about these days. So I'd love to hear some ideas from you guys about what you think, are the things that we should be highlighting, when talking to people that are outside this ecosystem that may not have been following all of the updates that have happened recently. So
yeah, I'm gonna be a node in the net there, just kind of mingling with people. So opportunity to get the word out, and I'm curious, yeah, what other folks might have in mind, what they're excited about.
I see that Kent from EOS San Diego is with us today. Hello, Kent. You always have lots of ideas and lots of things to share. I'm wondering if you have some thoughts to share with the gang today. Maybe Kent's not set up to talk at the moment. That might happen when I call on people to contribute. Chris Barnes, you seem to be having your mic unmuted.
Yo,
How you
yo.
doing today?
I'm doing good.
Hey, Chris.
Just got off with Brock. I don't know if any of you caught our event there, the Futurist series. Thank you, by the way, Steph, for hooking me up with the right tech setup to have some sound and have that all working from my computer. Thank you.
Beautiful. Happy to hear it worked.
Hopefully folks were happy. Looking for feedback. If those who did catch it, by all means, let us know if we want to kind of make this a regular series and keep squeezing in EOS into the conversation. So we'll have ideally more thought leaders from throughout the crypto space. We're trying to kind of broach into the other communities and drag them over. So looking for feedback, of course, from anybody here who heard it. And we'll try to keep improving and doing a better job.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but I know we are covering it in the Hot Sauce coming up on Friday. So we'll be talking a bit about that show as well and trying to spread the word. But I was wondering if you had some thoughts and ideas for EOS branding at the Consensus event this weekend. I know I'm putting you on the spot, and it's kind of a tough question, but kind of
hot chick.
See what the EOS community feels.
I know you sent Brandon Lovejoy, but I mean, his tits aren't big enough. No offense, Brandon.
Hey,
it's true.
I'm offended. Yeah, well, like, help me incept the local population with some sweet ideas. Come on.
I'd like to see a live interview. Can you do a Twitter Spaces interview on the spot, like Johnny on the spot type thing, where you kind of just break out and do a live interview?
Well, we talked about doing that. I'll definitely be recording some things. We'll see if I have the gumption to go live, but why not? Sure. Dare me to. And is there anyone you want me to get to? I can't reach Snowden. He's still in Russia, but he's going to speak. That'll be kind of interesting. And yeah, there's a lot of other speakers and really cool people that I could probably catch up with at some point along the way. All right, that's one good suggestion.
Yeah, that and titties. I got nothing else for you. Sorry.
All right, thanks for trying, Chris. Thanks for trying. Dogman, welcome to the chat. Do you have any ideas on types of branding and stuff that Brandon should be saying as he meets these Ethereum community members?
Well, thank you for the welcome, and also this is an interesting experience being asked a question like that without like a prepared answer. So thanks for asking. It's interesting. I'm not really sure. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts. About how we can and should like promote and tell the story of EOS. And I suppose everybody has a different vision for what is the best thing to say. But I mean, the way I think about it is that EOS is a community, and it's a community of people working to help each other. And it's we're using EOS as a tool as well, because EOS, it's both a community and a tool. There's a blockchain, a ledger, and a token that brings us together, and it's like, super helpful being able to do all these great functions on the blockchain. But I think really, like, I mean, what really separates EOS apart, and I think what really is helpful to focus on and promote and share as kind of a story during events like these is the I guess power of EOS as a community, and like the relationships we have built, maybe the relationships, people have to kind of be here to really understand the relationships. But like we can mention, like, there's really deeply forged relationships and like a lot of great leaders and amazing people working in the EOS community together. And like there's also that kind of phrase that was very popular for a while, DAO of DAOs, that EOS is one of the biggest DAOs in the world, and now we're also becoming one of the most coordinated DAOs in the world, and we have some of those helpful tools in the world, and like amazing community leaders working together, who have a lot of wisdom and who have been through a lot, and are like really building incredible things. So I could ramble on a lot about this topic, I guess.
Yeah,
And
no,
sorry
that's
if this
good. That's
isn't
good.
exactly what you're looking for.
That's a great answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Dogman, that was a great answer for someone, for me springing that question on you. Yeah, thanks for sharing. I think, the tight knit community, the DAO of DAOs, those are definitely all great points to bring up.
Cool. Sounds good.
Agreed.
I guess I'm just gonna call out some of the people that I see here in the chat more often, like Jesse from the Bees. I don't know if you have some ideas. I know you do. You and the Bees do a lot of marketing for EOS. If you want to come on the mic and just share a few ideas, maybe for Brandon for the upcoming Consensus Conference.
Hey guys, good to be here as always. I think the new EOS. I think to separate the old EOS and some of the stuff we went through versus the new EOS with new leadership, we have newly funded projects, Pomelo, Eden, new community, all about the new EOS, I would say.
I like it. I definitely like seeing these tweets on Twitter from all the community with the new EOS. It does point to the deeper story of EOS that maybe not everyone in the crypto space knows.
Yeah, I've seen that narrative pop up around different places, and I know Trimbot, among others, was on the new EOS tip, and I think it's good. It's a good distinction, and kind of gets people wondering, like, what's new? What should I know? What am I missing? So that's good.
Totally. Hey Kent, did you figure out your mic? I see you unmuted your mic. You're one step closer, but doesn't sound like audio's coming through. Maybe check your inputs. Maybe do a quick restart and try again later. Who else do we have here in the chat that might want to contribute some thoughts on the topic?
Can I pick on Aaron Cox?
You could pick
Aaron,
on
are you can I pick on you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
There's I don't have a good way to express this necessarily, but I think that one of the counter narratives is kind of the falling behind narrative, and I do think it's important that we wrap something around like that. Progress has been happening all this time despite the last 4 years of difficulty. It may have been slow, but things have still been going on. So if there's a way to package that up as kind of a, I don't know, I want to say counterpunch, but it's not really, and craft a message around that, it would also be strong. It's like it's been dormant, but still advancing. Like there's been good things over the past couple years, and we're just accelerating that now.
Totally.
I like it.
Good input.
What do you guys think about the maybe like on that, just in terms of like the developer and Nathan's here too. He'd be a good one to chat up about that too. And we haven't. I mean, that's kind of a change of topics because we haven't really talked about Nathan as the new head of director of developer relations yet. So What is?
Yeah, so that's why I was hesitating to ask
Yeah,
Nathan, because
I broke the
I
script.
didn't
I
want to
broke the script.
leave this topic just yet. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll share my thoughts, and then we can ask Nathan what he thinks, and then move on to the next topic. Or if anyone else has some thoughts they want to jump in, please definitely just jump in, say hi. If you unmute your mic, I can see it, and I can invite you on stage or whatever. Just jump in, say hi. No worries there. Yeah, so me and Brandon discussed this on on an earlier call today, and my instinct was to really highlight the story of EOS, and I assume that the audience at Consensus is going to be very ETH heavy. They're not going to know really what EOS is, and they probably still think that EOS equals block one. So I think the first thing that we need to say is that EOS fired block one last year, and then I would even follow that up with, and we're also suing them and trying to recover some of the EICO funds that we think they stole from us. And I think that as a first sentence, very aggressive, very negative, much less positive like the other answers we had before, but I think it may be very impactful. And it's gonna grab these people's attention, and then they're gonna be like, wait a minute, what do you mean EOS is suing block one? I thought EOS was block one, right? So I think there's still a lot of misconceptions around that. And then I think obviously highlighting that block one is no longer part of the community. We fired them last year. We're now developing the code ourselves through a new foundation that the network as a DAO of DAO created on its own, the ENF. And then you can obviously point to a lot of successful initiatives that the ENF has delivered over the last 9 or 10 months of its existence, and finish it up with leading into the EOS EVM, which is coming up in a few weeks. So I think if you're able to grab the attention of these Ethereum people for 60 seconds, those are the things that I would highlight myself to make lots of impact, grab the intention, and really build that narrative, that story. Humans thrive on narratives. And that's one of the reasons actually I got into crypto, because the crypto narrative was so compelling to me. And I thought, yeah, this is going to be compelling to a lot of other people as well. So building a compelling narrative is super important. And EOS is in the process of building, one of the greatest comeback stories of all of crypto. And so painting that narrative, showing that, we also hate block one, just like most of the Ethereum community hates block one. And we feel like they stole from us, and we're fighting back. We're fighting back against the big multinational company, and we're now rallying together as a community, as a DAO of DAOs, really. And and then you list off all the great initiatives that have been activated and completed over the last little while. Anyways, so that's my little rant. I don't know if that's actually a good strategy or not. I didn't, I'm not the one that's going to be going out there, but that's just my 2 cents. So I don't know if anyone has any thoughts to share. Do you agree with that? Do you disagree? Is this a terrible idea? Love to hear some input or comments. Maybe I'll let it sit with you guys a bit more. We can come back to it later on in the show. But yeah, I'd love to hear some comments or feedback on that before we move on to Nathan's maybe opinion, ideas, and then talk about his new role at DNF.
Hi, Steph. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Kent, you're live on the EOS Community Fireside Chats.
Great. I was following you on YouTube and Discord, and it was getting kind of confusing, so I don't know what I did. So anyway, great to have Nathan James back. That's a real win for EOS. And I think the most positive stuff going on today is just the separation from block one and getting a new start with all these new ideas and new energy. And I think that is what we need to really be pushing, is that we're actually a community of a lot of people with a lot of ideas generating good energy, and we're moving forward with without the burden of the past. And I think a lot of people still associate us with block one and all the problems. If we can keep that from interfering with the future. I think the future is really, really, really bright. So especially with people like Nathan James, yourself, the NF, Abe LaRose, everybody has just been. This has been a fantastic group to deal with, to be around, to see transform this whole project into a brand new entity, a brand new happening.
Absolutely, totally agree. And thanks for joining us today, Ken.
Yeah, enjoy these calls. They're a lot of fun, especially the sound effects.
Awesome.
Yeah, hey. So Felix here. I thought I'd jump in too. So I think one of the biggest things that we could really talk about is just the amount of opportunity and that's currently out there here in the EOS community. Right now over in Ethereum, you could say it's oversaturated with the amount of. It's hard to stand out. You've got so many different projects going on, and here's a great opportunity for anyone who wants to establish themselves as a leader. While we're early, because we all here really believe that things are really progressing upwards, and it's only going to get harder as time goes on to stand out. And so right now there's a really good opportunity to come and build and establish yourself as a leader, gain that respect within the community, and become a part of this movement while we're just getting started. So that's one of the main things that I would really try to echo over at Consensus.
Something I would.
Good points there. Thanks for joining.
Do you mind if I hop in real quick?
Mark, yeah, go for it, Tony.
Awesome, thank you. No, I think one of the big things, and these are all very valid points. It's to me the big thing is that there's work to be done here, and there is money getting sent to work that is being done. This is not some broke chain. This isn't some guy's fever dream kind of thing. It's a large community of people that are there is passion for it, but everybody can say that they have passion for their own chain, right? And everybody has a story. Ours is a little bit more compelling, obviously, but I think the idea that there's work that is trying to be done, and there are people getting paid to do the work. There's money to be invested in development. So, but on top of that, with things like Pomelo and the EOSIO Plus initiatives, there's ways for developers to make money developing, not just with the token value or things that will increase the token value, but we need developers. We need people to work on projects more than I would argue more than anything else right now. So I would drive that. I mean, yes, obviously the narrative with Block One is it's good. Like you said, it's a compelling story, but there's not a lot of meat behind it. It kind of gives us a reason, but we can only hide behind that for so long. Eventually we're going to have to stand on our own merit, and we can't get the sympathy vote, so to speak, right? So, sympathy vote's great to get attention, but it doesn't show why we're more performant or better performing than, in this case, Ethereum. So those are the two things I would drive home: speed, and that we're looking for developers to do work, and you can get paid here. This is I think it's a burgeoning community that could really take off if we get, again, like Felix was talking about with oversaturation within the Ethereum Ethereum space. There might be developers that look and say, well, you know what, maybe the opportunities aren't great here. Maybe I could go someplace else and take my talents to South Beach, so to speak. So yeah, let's be South Beach and, try to make ourselves as attractive as possible to bring people in to do work. So, but yeah, Pomelo, speed, EOSIO Plus, those would be my three big things.
I like it. And just want to clarify, I don't really feel like the narrative, is going for the sympathy vote, more like for cheering for the underdog that's working really hard, that's got a community, that's bonding together. But I understand what you're saying, though, and it's totally valid. You were talking about developer growth, etc., and I just want to share a tweet from the ENF actually this week. that shows the amount of work that's being done on the Mandel branch of the EOSIO code. So, there was 26 developers, 268 Git commits, 201 files updated. So just a little, like you say, we do need to show that there's growth, that there's people building, etc. And that's definitely happening, which is exemplified by this tweet. And also, by all the work that the ENF is doing. So really, the way I see it is the narrative, that's the hook. You grab their attention, then they're like, oh, really? And then they look into it a bit deeper, and then they see all of this work, all of these teams being paid, all of these, features being built, etc. So, yeah, I think that's very valid, and I think that's definitely going to be part of the strategy. Thanks for jumping in. Let me just share this link in the stream chat for today for the tweet if you're wondering if you want to go check it out. Yeah, at this point, I guess I'd invite Nathan to jump on stage and share some of his thoughts with us.
Actually, everything that I would have said has already been said, honestly. I think that a big focus on saying that we are not Block One. Block One has been fired is good. I think that those emotions riled up will have an impact on people when you speak to them, especially that audience. I think talking about the $1 million that was just distributed through Pomelo is a big thing. There's a lot of developers there. Most of those developers are just trying to make some money. That's what developers do. Or affect change, of course. Sadly, all of the stuff that I'm working on, the developer hub and all that stuff isn't really ready, or that would be something that I would say to push them over to because they need somewhere to start. But yeah, everything that everybody mentioned was good things to go. And yes, I wish that Brandon had some boobs.
Nice.
But it's 2022, anything could happen. So
it's true. We can get that done before consensus.
Yeah, I could make a schedule
Brandon
something.
Did get a nice haircut and shaved his beard this morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna freak people out with the beard, honestly. Like,
what?
So he cleaned up nicely for this event.
Don't worry, it's gonna grow back so fast. By the time I get to Texas, I'll have like a nice, healthy double. It'll start. Yeah, I won't be completely unrecognizable.
Maybe you and Eve should have a speed beard growing contest. Probably be a good competition. But yeah, Nathan, if you could talk a bit more about this new role of yours that you're now leading for the ENF. Maybe we can get a nice little clip out of it and share that on Twitter this week. And so when Brandon's out there at Consensus, he can point to at least a bit of content showing the developer portal, or at least talking about the dev portal that you'll be building. So
sure, of course.
I'd love to hear it.
So I've said this on a couple of chats recently. I'll repeat it here. I'm really focusing on two different ways to go about this. One which is retention, and the other which is expansion. I think that the most important factor that we have right now is to make sure that new developers that are coming into the EOS ecosystem stay in the EOS ecosystem. They don't simply enter, realize that stuff is complicated, and then exit. So the primary focus right now is to make sure that we have education in terms of the basics of the core concept of EOSIO technologies, which is accounts, resources, etc. And then also tooling, which helps provide them a really easy to use ecosystem. For instance, people on Windows right now just have very little support to develop anything without having to have a VM or something like that. So that's one really good example of how it's not very portable. And just basic stuff like that. And then for expansion, we're talking about more, let's say, daily developer spaces on Twitter, TikTok lives, etc. Things which kind of bring people in. I've been doing a lot of tweets. I'm sure pretty much everybody here on the call has noticed I'm trying to fish into the community to see what the problems lingering are, to see what the narratives are, because without knowing that stuff, we can't change it. And that'll be the first next step in terms of developers to kind of change the feeling about the network, make sure that developers who come in don't have the feelings that they've had in the past and have no recollection of those feelings, no attachment to those feelings. And that's basically it for now. I don't want to give away too much.
Nathan, can you hear me?
That's great.
Have I been on mute this whole time?
Yeah. No, you're good, Brandon.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was just wondering, like, so looking forward, without giving too much away, what are you kind of excited about in terms of, like, if I was pitching to a developer at Consensus saying, like, you should build on EOS, but right now we're still kind of getting some things online that are going to make your life a lot easier. I guess speaking slightly in a more aspirational sense, like, what do you hope to have the experience be like, or why should even, given this current state of things where we're trying to like make some improvements, what is the most compelling route? If that that jumble of half questions made sense.
Consensus is a very specific audience, right? I think that it's going to be heavily skewed towards Ethereum. So for that, I would, of course, talk about the EVM and all of the tooling which is coming out for that. If you're not talking to Ethereum developers, then I would definitely talk about upcoming tooling to make life easier on EOS, such as quick start guides, full-blown courses going from A to Z, and all of that good stuff.
Cool, yeah. I have a feeling I'll be leaning into the EVM quite a bit in this crowd, but yeah, good to hear your thoughts.
All right. Looking at the chat here, we got some comments. Markstair mentions that unlike other newer chains, EOS has never been down as far as he knows. I think it has been down once for a few hours. I remember because I was out hiking at that time and I was offline. But that was very early on in its history, and it has not happened since. Trimbot asked for a better way to identify people who's speaking. Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to bring up. If you can, just quickly say your name when you jump on the mic to exactly help people know who's talking what, either here on Discord or when we're streaming on Twitter, and people watching it back on YouTube. It's just going to help the information flow more freely.
Stephane, it's Trimbot. You mind if I jump in here real quick?
Of course, you can jump in.
Just one thing that I think would be a valuable sort of like marketing slogan, something along the lines at Consensus, is that you get all the benefits of a battle-tested, performant, dyno chain, whatever you want to call it, the security and et cetera, so on and so forth. But it's basically like a shiny new toy at this point. And that's why I keep trying to frame EOS as the new EOS, comparing it to the old EOS. Like, that's just marketing speak. But there is a big difference now in terms of it being completely in control of the community, the EVM coming out, the improvements to the code base. And so I think that if you can sort of sell it at Consensus as this is the shiny new toy, but at the same time, you don't have any of the downsides of the shiny new toy, it can be a pretty compelling marketing tactic.
I like it. Trimbot coming in with the strong memes for EOS, as he usually does. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for that.
Taking notes, Brandon?
Oh, yeah.
You can always watch the replay on YouTube later on tonight or tomorrow if you got too many great ideas in a row here from the community. But yeah, that was great, guys. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for everyone who shared their thoughts. And yeah, we're going to keep on going here through our list of topics. Next up, I'm going to invite Aaron again back on the stage to talk about the Greymass updates from last week. So Aaron couldn't join the audio on the Twitter Spaces, so figured we'll talk about his updates this week.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And I mean, to add to that kind of last conversation, um, making it, I really like the approach of like leveraging EVM to onboard new developers now while we kind of give a facelift to the native technologies. There's a lot of really good proposals coming in for on the native side, as opposed to the EVM side. When I'm saying native, it's the the core layer that we've been running on for years. Um, whether it's coming in from like the consensus side or the protocol side or even the tooling side, like the upcoming SDKs and new things that are going to make it just better for developers to build. Those are going to be awesome talking points in the future, but this is probably not the right audience. So focusing on that EVM stuff is great right now. But that all aside, the on our side, yeah, we published an update last week where we were talking about the projects that we've been focused on since we kind of concluded on the blue papers. We've managed to take a little bit of a breather and refocus our efforts, and that kind of stuff is starting to show now. We have been working on all the versions of Anchor. The Android version, there's a small new alpha going around that we completely rewrote the key store for, which is going to unlock better support for the Android ecosystem. It's been difficult to wrap our heads around that side of things because like there's just so many variations of it all. Unlike iOS, where we kind of push that out quickly because they're all kind of vanilla. If you get an iOS device, you have an iOS device. So on the Anchor side, we're pushing on Android. iOS is kind of in a good spot. And on desktop side, we're starting to prototype I've been kind of calling it Anchor 2 for desktop. And that brings it in line with what the mobile version kind of is. It's a signer, first and foremost, that is a secure place to keep your keys. And then it gets out of your way, kind of like a password manager. And that's the mobile experience we've been offering for years. And mobile has just far surpassed our desktop usage at this point. The adoption is good, so we kind of want to go that route with desktop as well. On the other side of things, we have Unicove, which we deployed the rebrand for. It's now actually called Unicove, and it's not the untitled web wallet anymore. All of that's in place, and we have new designs coming out for new sections now that we've kind of shored up the foundation of Unicove. We're looking at an earn section, like where you go if you're looking to earn a yield on your tokens. We're going to probably start with the system earning opportunities like Rex, but then expand that section out into other earning opportunities that we're comfortable promoting. Obviously, we can't put everything there because we don't know everybody, but we want to try to do the trustless stuff to start with. That leads kind of into a governance section, and then we're going to dive into account history. Like, I'm sure all of you right now, you go to a block explorer to look at your account history. We're trying to reimagine that so that way there is actually account activity that's not in a developer format for you to consume and figure out what happened on your account. That is incredibly challenging, and we've been iterating on it for months now. But it's starting to come together, and we're hopeful we'll be able to get that implemented in Unicove in the not too distant future. So yeah, those I think were two of the more exciting ones that you guys probably all interact with. Well, those of you that use those products. And then there was some other more technical stuff we included in the post. Yeah, I'm happy to answer questions or ramble about something else.
Cool. Good update. Can you share examples of the trustless ways you could earn that maybe are likely to be like on the roadmap for you guys to add?
I don't know that we have a great list at this point.
Like, are we talking like Defibox liquidity pools type of stuff?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, those are the kind of things we want to be able to vet before we expose like our users to it. It's kind of a touchy subject when you have your wallet and you trust your wallet, and then your wallet's promoting something to you. We want to try to make sure that that is safe as possible. Like, we only want to provide really safe options. That's why we're starting with Rex. Like, Rex is if you don't trust Rex, you don't trust the network. Like, it's just very, very low risk. It's as low risk as EOS itself is, which I guess, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's as trustless as it gets, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Good stuff. I know you guys don't usually release expected release dates or whatever, but I'll just say I'm looking forward to the updates.
Me too.
All right. Any thoughts from the audience on these
I have
updates?
a clarification question about Unicove.
Go for it.
Sure. I'm curious, is Unicove like a web version of Anchor, or is it to be used in conjunction with Anchor to offer the sort of wallet features that Anchor doesn't, buying RAM, that kind of thing?
It's meant to be used in conjunction with Anchor right now. With mobile not really having any interfaces for you to actually interact with anything, it is the companion to that app. And it's being done in this way to keep Anchor focused on doing the one thing it does really well, and that's storing keys and signing transactions. And then also to give you, the user, a choice in which interface you want to actually use. A lot of times you might end up locked into one or the other, or just because it's so. But yeah, we're basically moving everything you'd see in Anchor Desktop out to Unicove. And then the goal with Unicove is to then make it so that it, in the future, doesn't require Anchor. And you can also have a choice in where you're storing your keys, whether it's a hardware device or somebody else's wallet that they've developed.
Very cool. Thanks.
All right. John, are you around to talk about the new Boid Avatars? I know I had some fun trying out this new project. This is an EOS NFT profile pic project.
Sorry, I'm here. John from Oldtimers. I hope
Hey,
that everybody can hear me.
Yeah, we hear you, John.
Yeah. Okay. Our idea is from another side that we know that a lot of people want to drive this luxury car and beauty, but from another side, it doesn't have enough funds for that. And our idea is to create NFTs, which will be used for the future in the metaverse, and where the people can, for little money, for 20 EOS, have access for that. And this is what metaverse should be: give the choice and give opportunity for all. And we start this project yesterday, and we hope that with the support from the EOS community, and when we find the partnership in the metaverse, this dream for the people who like classic vehicles will become true. For all this reason, we are working hard to hire another designers and to approach to the NFTs in the EOS from another way. Usual, it was for the games or avatars for a lot of privilege, but in our case, is something what people can do, like in the real life, or drive some cars, but doesn't have the chance. And for us, that was something unique, and what is missing really on the market for the metaverse. I hope that we will get also support from the EOS community as well.
All right, thanks for sharing your NFT project, John. Although I was asking about another John's NFT project at first, but I'm glad you jumped in here and updated us on on these new NFTs you recently minted on the EOS network. And like I said earlier on in the show, John was nice enough to donate a few of them to us for the community today. So we'll be giving those out during the raffle at the end of the show. Speaking of, there's 10 minutes left if you want to mint a May raffle ticket. So you need 5 pop tokens. You go to blend.gems.io and you'll be able to blend those pop tokens into a raffle ticket. We've got 25 prizes worth 5 EOS each. If you don't win one of those, you'll win a party cracker, and then everyone has a chance of winning one of the 3 OldtimersOffer NFTs. Cool. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for sharing. Second try for Johnatboid. If you're available to jump on the stage here and share with us the Boid Avatar project.
Sure.
There we go.
Yeah, so we recently launched the Boid Avatars project. It's a NFT project from the Boid team, and the idea is that you can design your own avatar by combining different parts together. So you can kind of customize it and mint your own custom designs, and you get to name the avatar as well. And then other people, if they like your design, or they're looking for an avatar that has that rarity rating or whatever, they can come along and they can mint from your design as well, and then you earn 25% of the cost that they pay to mint a copy. And we have long-term plans for the avatar NFTs. You'll be able to use them in future Boid apps. They're kind of like a passport, so you'll need one to participate in future projects that we're working on. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, let me know.
Yeah, I had fun trying out the project a few weeks ago when you guys let in some early access. I created a few avatars myself. You guys created some community avatars. I just shared a picture of them in the stream chat here. You can see Aaron from Greymass, Zach from the ENF. You guys did one for myself. That was very nice of you. Also, we've got Eve out there. And then we've got a bunch of custom ones as well that were created by the community. So let me just share another picture here of some of the community created ones. Overall, really nice project. Very well delivered. Everything went smoothly when I bought my packs, opened my packs, created my own avatars. So it's really good, yeah. So for those of you who are curious, you can the cheapest pack you can buy for 10 avatar parts is 50,000 Boid. So that's about 8 EOS or so at current prices. So that's if you want to create your own avatar. You'll need to buy some packs, and then creating a new avatar also has a fee of 100,000 EOS, so that's like 100,000 Boid, 16 EOS. But if you just want to buy one of these avatars that someone else has created, then those are much more affordable, and anyone can buy some. There's some for even less than 1 EOS, really. And then as more copies of your avatar are minted, then the price goes higher and higher and higher. So yeah, overall, really cool concept. I had a blast trying out. So try it out. This is good. I like the tokenomics aspect of it with the Boid token. So you need Boid to purchase the packs and create the avatars. So that's great. Adds demand side for the Boid token. And then when you're minting avatars, 25% goes to the creator, but 75% of that Boid is just burned. So not only is it increasing demand for Boid tokens, it's also decreasing the supply. And it's a fantastic PFP profile pic project. Definitely the best one on EOS for sure, in my opinion. So really, I was really happy with this rollout, and excited to see more cool templates created by the community. If you are buying packs, actually, there's a pretty funny template or avatar parts that are clown-like, and that represent someone in the EOS community that no one really likes. So I'm trying to find all those clown-like parts and put them together and name the avatar Brenda or something like that. So if you find clown parts, hit me up. I may trade with you and build some cool avatars. All right. Anyone else in here have checked out the project yet? I'm curious to know. I know the guys at Boid haven't done too much publicity for it yet. It just went live to the public this week. So we'll be talking about it on the hot sauce, and I'm sure you guys will hear about it some more and more in the coming days. But if anyone else has in here participated or bought an avatar or whatever, I'd love you guys to share your opinions and jump in. Play some music. If no one has tried it out yet, then definitely go check it out. I shared the link in the old Stream Chat channel, so you can check it out.
I love mine. Thank you to John. I've got it, as you can see, set as my profile picture here on Twitter, and maybe you'll see it in Pomelo Season 3 too.
That's right. That's right. Some alpha being dropped in the Fireside chat. Yeah. So I guess I can talk a bit about the Pomelo NFT collection. You can. We've been hinting that you'll be able to use it as a profile pic. Well, you already can if you have an Eden collection, but we're also adding the Boid collection to the list of collections available. So there's 3 whitelisted collections in Pomelo that you can use as your avatar. So you've got the Pomelo collection, of course. You've got the Eden collection, so you can put your own Eden NFT avatar on there. And then we've also added the Boid avatars. So you can go check that out, harvest.pomelo.io. We'll be actually sharing more information about that in the coming weeks as we ramp up towards Pomelo Season 3. So we've got Pomelo Season 2 retroactive article that's going to be published sometime this week. Kind of, doing the recap of the first 2 seasons, lessons learned, share some stats, all that good stuff. And then we'll announce the start of Season 3 the week after or the week after that. And then, of course, we have another NFT season for Pomelo Season 3. We've got a new series of NFTs for you guys to collect. As always, all of the money raised during the NFT sales for Pomelo goes back into the matching pool for Season 3. But we'll be talking more about that on future Fireside chats, I'm sure. All right. Moving on to some smaller topics. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Balance was launched on Defibox. So Balance is a stablecoin swap protocol similar to Curve on Ethereum, and this was recently launched on Defibox. And what's really impressive is that it's already accumulated a good amount of liquidity. So I'm just looking for the tweet right now, but I think we were up to about 800,000 EOS worth of liquidity in there. Denis, I don't know if you want to share some updated stats on that.
Yeah, so the updated stats, they're actually almost crossing the $1 million US mark, which is about... Wait, you can the next sound. And then the next part is 792. So 792,000 EOS. So close to 800,000 EOS and $1 million US. That's in locked up. Currently, right now, the current stage of that development is still in sort of a development. It's finalized, but I think the team is still trying to monitor it in case something happens. So right now, the contract is still under active development, but at least all the UI is there. This was a fork from our SX Curve. So right now, we've developed, so US Nation developed a Curve-like platform that would be optimized for converting, swapping stable token to stable token. It actually has been audited 3 times by 3 different auditing teams. I think it's Certic. Let me see. So we have the 3 different auditing teams were get that back.
Yeah, so I just shared that while you look for those names. I just shared the link to the tweet that Defibox did a few days ago, highlighting the liquidity and the swap volume. So almost 50,000 EOS worth of volume in 24 hours. Pretty impressive. Definitely higher than what I would have thought a week ago if you would have asked me, how this protocol would be doing so early after launch. But it's great to see, and it's kind of a testament. Actually, Brandon, take some notes. It's probably a good example of the liquidity that is in EOS waiting to do something, right? So Eve has mentioned this in the past, that there's a lot of liquidity just on EOS that's been kind of frozen or locked up, not sure what to do. With the EVM coming, potentially new DeFi protocols launching on EOS, they can attract a lot of liquidity quickly, and this is an example of that, of exactly that happening, where a new protocol was able to attract almost $1 million of liquidity fairly quickly. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking for the link. Here we go. And if you guys want to check out the balance swap on Defibox directly, I shared the link in the chat as well. Denis, did you find the names of the auditors?
Yeah, so there was a third one I was trying to look for. It was Known Sec. This was more of a Chinese auditing team, and also, of course, Slowmist has also audited that. So in 2021, those were the 2 audits, and Sentinel was the first one to do the audit on the initial one. So I think the Defibox team kind of took that, they forked it, they kept the same algorithms and all the same sort of context. They just kind of put a few additional touches, which is integrating into their mining. So with all the Defibox LP tokens, there's sort of like automatic yield earning opportunities. So they had to add that hook into. So that's the only modifications to the original source code, is just adding the mining components. And you can earn box tokens by providing Tether and USN. So with all swap pools, you are exposed to the assets. The nice thing with Defibox Balance is you're exposed to 2 stable tokens. So the crypto exposure is limited, not 0, but it's limited to at least 2 stable tokens, and then you can earn returns by providing that liquidity. So yeah, pretty excited, and it's a really slick UI. It's quite simple to use. It's just like any sort of a Uniswap type of swap program. You just put in your asset, and if you want to convert it to the other side, you just flip it. So yeah, they did a really good job at implementing that balance swap pool. And the other thing too is that this is the second curve-like platform. So another one is Pizza. So Pizza Lending, they have a platform called Air. So Pizza Air, and that was actually one of the sort of first public to market curve-like platforms. What's nice is now that there's 2 of these types of platforms, there's actually like trading volume between them. So you can kind of do trading aggregations between the 2 swap platforms. So it's positive having competition in the space doing the same similar things, because then you kind of grow the pool, and you can kind of grow the trading volume between both applications. That's my update for them.
Great update. I shared the link to the Air app.
Yeah.
On the Pizza.live website. That's cool. I didn't even know about this. That's great. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. So they've definitely been collaborating together, because it's a similar product. The algorithm is the same, so it's still using the Curve-Fi sort of algorithm. Yeah.
And to be clear, while we're talking about stable coins, USN is a over collateralized stable coin, similar to DAI on Ethereum. So it's not like the UST algo stablecoin that imploded on Luna recently. And in USDT, of course, Tether is a fully backed coin where Tether holds reserves of bonds and cash-like instruments in their bank account, and you can redeem Tether for one-to-one. So, like Denis says, there's never no risk, but it's as low risk as you can get probably if you want to earn yield on crypto assets, that you deposit into a liquidity pool. So it's really good to see this on EOS, and like Maxim shared in the chat as well, he loves to see these great EOS projects being mentioned, like Box and Pizza, for example. Absolutely, those are great DeFi projects on EOS. And Doug Wu lets us know that Max is the newest Eden member. Great, welcome Max to the Fireside Chat, and welcome to the Eden community. All right, what else do we have on the topic list? As always, I encourage you guys to jump in. Do you use Defibox liquidity pools? Do you use Pizza? Are you gonna try to earn some yield on the new Balance protocol? Let us know if you use these products, if you've got suggestions for what you'd like to see. Yeah, jump on in here and let us know. All right, and for the final topic on my list here, is Eve still with us? No, we missed him. Shoot, should have asked him a bit earlier. But maybe Ted can jump in and share some updates. I saw some updates this week about the ENF grant framework. I think 2 projects so far were approved for that grant framework. So I don't know, Ted, if you can speak to that a bit. If not, I'm going to kind of look for this tweet so I can share a bit more information on that. So yeah, so I couldn't find what the name of the second project that was accepted is, but I know one of the projects is called Trust Swap, and they qualified for a grant from under the direct grant framework that the ENF has established. So Esteban from Trust Swap on June 6th, shared a message in their Telegram channel. He said, "This is great news, everyone. Our ENF grant request is now fully approved. Big thank you to everyone at the EOS Network Foundation. We look forward at building the most amazing decentralized trading platform of crypto." Great. So Esteban, I don't think he's with us today. But shout out to Esteban. And I'm going to share the Telegram channel in the stream chat for those of you who want to check out the Trust Swap Telegram channel. All right, well, looks like that completes the list of topics that I had for today. Love to hear some more community thoughts, some ideas. If you want to just say hi to people, love for you to jump on in the stage here with me. And if not, we'll wrap this up in the next few minutes.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah. This
Yes, Doug.
weekend, or this actually today, the NFT Austin event that's going on. I feel like doing some crazy, spontaneous. Let's see if I can invade the airwaves on Twitter or on YouTube and try to find people on Twitter Spaces that are at the event, or maybe even work with Lovejoy and see if we can get some sort of like dialogue going. I don't know. I'm not even sure what I was going to do, but I'm going to try to do something just because I'm having so much fun doing this live stuff. So if anyone wants to join me in my escapades, they're more than welcome to.
There you go. Join Doug in raiding some Twitter Spaces to talk about EOS NFTs. I like it.
Hey, this is Mark from Tipit. Can you hear me?
Hey, Mark. Yeah, welcome to the stage.
Hey, he was just talking about NFTs on Twitter, and just remember, Tipit is the best and easiest way to send NFTs across social. We also have implemented memberships, starting with the EOSBs with Jesse over there, and did some test swarms, which are like campaigns. So if you're looking at any membership type things, Tipit is a good way to form your membership, an NFT, things like that, and reward those members different ways through our campaigns. So keep that in mind. And then just a general question for the community. It was one of Trimbot's tweets made me think of it. Is what does everyone think the dApps that are going to be good in the near term future? Where's the good business models coming from? Just as a background, Tipit supports 80 different tokens across EOSIO, and we've watched the projects come and go, like Karma and things like that. We still hold those tokens, but those aren't going anymore. So just what is everyone's feeling on actual dApps and projects that you guys think are going to be successful in blockchain in general?
Great question. Thanks for joining. But before we get to that question, maybe you can explain a bit more how, let's say, someone like me could leverage the Tipit platform to, transfer NFTs over socials, use it for promotions, for engagement, stuff like that. I use the bounty block tool usually, but if there's features on your app that maybe I'm not aware, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, so it's really simple. The first step, like to share NFTs, is you deposit them into a Tipit account, and you could do that from Tipit.io or right from Anchor with the right code of that links to your social, and Tipitbot can give you that code, and then you can upload an entire collection of NFTs or just one by one, and once you have those in Tipit, then the command is so simple. You just say .nft and the pound of the name of that NFT or collection or something like that, and we give that to you. If you do .nft to Tipit bot in Twitter or whatever, we'll give you those names, those hashtags. So like, let's say artist Byron, for example, did a Valentine zombie thing called Conjoined Heart. And so if you had that, you could deposit in your Tipit and just say .nft pound conjoined heart, and that would send to that person you're replying to. Or you could just say .nft with the user's name and conjoined heart, and then they'd get it. The beauty about that is it uses the hashtag capability of Twitter to kind of like promote your NFT also. So it's really simple. And same with our tipping, got a lot easier. You just say .tip and the the amount and the token, and you can share tokens. So real simple. If you need more help, I could jump on and show you or whatever. And then the memberships gets into a little bit more detail. I'd have to go in, I don't want to go into detail on that, but basically it's the same thing. You send membership NFTs into Tipit and assign those to the people. And the good thing about it being in Tipit is that you have control over what they can do with it. It's kind of like they can't send it unless you're an admin. You can send it or move it to people. But once you set up a member through Tipit, then you kind of have control over that. A little bit like Discord memberships and stuff like that.
Right on. Thanks for explaining a bit further.
Yeah, get out there and start tipping. And I think in this bear market we're in, there's a bit of a bear market. We see it with Tipit, like when the excitement is coming, people are tipping and doing these things. So get out there and tip and send NFTs around and just get awareness going.
Absolutely. Sounds like a great idea. Regarding your question, I guess in terms of what kind of upcoming business models may be profitable or whatever, I feel like with the regulators are coming in. We had someone last week share his thoughts and opinion that regulators are looking at all of these space a lot. So I think stuff like regulated securities, kind of a platform like Checks is building. I think that has the potential to really take off in the future. Denis, someone's calling you?
Yeah.
All right, server muted, Denis. Yeah, so stuff that is regulation friendly, I think could see a wave of adoption in the coming years. Like you say, maybe we're in a bear market now. Maybe it lasts a year or two, something like that. And if it is a bear market, then that's when the best projects put their heads down and build ferociously and get ready for the next wave of adoption that is for sure going to happen at some point. So I guess that'd be my suggestion is Checks for a regulated securities platform. Anyone else has some ideas? And not necessarily has to be an EOS project, it can just be like general trends in crypto or something that you see that's coming up. Types of applications, like we had DeFi summer 2 summers ago, then we had the NFT summer last summer. What do you think is the next big trend to take hold? What do you think about GameFi, which actually EOS is very well positioned and actually hosts one of the biggest GameFi apps in all of blockchain with Upland. So that's definitely I think a trend that's going to rise. I think there's a lot of junk in the GameFi space as well, where the designers are kind of lazy and they just put NFTs and put some Ponzi-nomics in their game, and then they think it's gonna be super successful. I don't think that's very likely to happen or sustainable. But the games that really do think long and hard about their economics, how they integrate blockchain, I think that has a ton of potential, and we know that EOS is a great layer one for these games. So I guess that would be my second answer to your question.
Can I hop in on this one?
Yeah.
So this is one of those awesome questions, Mark, that really there's no point of truly answering it. It's like just an ongoing question. So it's almost like we need to develop our collective community's skill set and toolkit to just keep answering these questions repetitively instead of just looking for an answer. So we are still working. There's still planning for a hackathon. And so in the Discord, there's a chat. I encourage folks to head out, check that out, because it's all the links and everything's been done via community. It's all available. And in that virtual hackathon, what's being suggested, or what we're trying to consider, is a series of seminars every week. And so they'll be recorded. So even folks who aren't participating can still watch and learn from the seminars. But one of them would be a design thinking workshop. And then we've also got a technical course about EOSIO DApp integration. tokenomics gamification workshop, business plan workshop, pitch deck workshop, so people can get better at actually trying to pitch for funding, and a pitch delivery workshop. So maybe the last ones aren't as relevant to the question, but certainly design thinking workshop and tokenomics and business plans, that's all something we can all get better at. And so hopefully this hackathon gets adopted and we run with this, and this would be a good opportunity, I guess.
I had some thoughts on the question as well in terms of profitable business strategies in crypto. At least from my point of view, marketplaces and these the creators of the marketplaces take a platform fee. So you look at Atomic, you look at Upland. When you transfer their UPX token, there's always a fee there, and these platform fees seem to be the most profitable, at least from my view. And then the other thing I'll also say, Stephane, with your question about Tipit versus Bounty Block, one of the differences is that because I looked into Bounty Block a little bit, but I don't believe Bounty Block has fungible tokens. I could be wrong. So there's a whole fungible token thing on Tipit too.
Great input, Jesse. I'm not sure if Bounty Block does fungible. You're right. Maybe it's coming. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's a great feature differentiation between Bounty and Tipit. Doug Wu just shared the hackathon information in the stream chat. And there's a lot of the discussion on that is going on in this Discord server, so you can head on over to that channel if you want to learn more about what's going on with the hackathon progress. And loving these, love the input as well, Chris, especially with your background and, you know, as you work with Helios. I know you guys are hosting incubators, light incubator programs and stuff like that. So definitely appreciate you sharing your insight, because I'm sure you get pitched, you know, a fair amount of crypto business models over the last weeks and months. So yeah, so that's great for you to share.
Yeah, thanks. And definitely, you know, Gabriel Shaw, I think he's on this. He should speak up. He's the one who brings a lot of the brain power to this. And in terms of the business plan workshop, pitch deck workshop, and the delivery workshop, and these could change. The other thing I should mention, all of this is just a tentative planning state. If folks have feedback and what they think would be a better seminar to hold that would be more useful, please tell us, because we can tweak these and try to mix and match. But yeah, anyway, the point, Gabriel, he's the one who really can bring a lot of value. So definitely for the incubator, those who've been in it, I think, can speak to that. I'm learning a ton. Like, I'm not, like, I don't claim to be a VC expert or investment expert, right, at all. So to me, it's all been a learning opportunity for me. So definitely just a shout out to Gav, though, and folks should, yeah, contribute.
Hey guys, I'm half listening in, so I'm not quite sure what the topic is, but very, very happy to be involved and supporting the incubator and startups looking to build and really bringing a commercial focus, looking at business models and trying to understand where the economic opportunities are rather than just getting tied up in the technical. So hopefully that's relevant to what you guys are talking about, but having fun so far and really looking forward to this concept of a ideathon or hackathon program coming up soon.
All right, thanks for joining us, Gabriel. Yeah, it is definitely relevant. That's what we're talking about. The question specifically was, what kind of business models, you know, crypto business models, do you think are going to be viable in the future? So I don't know if you want to expand on that, or if you want to share maybe some broad strokes on some of the types of projects that you've been seeing or working with.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll give a few thoughts. I think it's really worth paying attention to traditional revenue streams. And when we're building Web3, I do see a lot of kind of almost distraction in the ideas of tokenomics. They're absolutely necessary, but I do make the point that a token sale is not itself a business model, right? So, and unfortunately, we do get a lot of pitches where the people are focused on a token launch, on a token sale, on an NFT drop, but then they're not really padding the business model in terms of what happens next. So there we have to look at how do we take traditional monetization models, revenue streams, and add a Web3 element to them so that they can still function in a similar way, but doing so with Web3 functionality. So that's the challenge that I'm seeing a lot of people are making. They're focusing on the tokenomics, focusing on a token sale, but not really looking at traditional business, which is proven. There's subscription models, continuity, micropayments. There's so many different things that we need to incorporate. And then beyond that, we need to actually compete with, you can't just say, well, we're going to be the Web3 version of Patreon or Spotify or whatever big popular Web2 brands exist. You then have to be able to actually compete with them, approaching a way to achieve scale, right? So that's the business model, not just the blockchain, not just the tokenomics, but then the traditional business, and realizing that you are competing with the stronghold of Web2 companies. So a few thoughts there, masses of stuff to talk about. And again, this is really what I like to do and what we're doing with Helios, and hopefully that we can organize these thoughts in a structured way to add value in a hackathon and bring in new developers that maybe are C++ developers but haven't yet tapped into the concepts of blockchain and the performance and the opportunity that's in the space.
Very well said, and thanks for sharing that insight. That's really good. And yeah, thanks for joining. I hope I've seen you in the audience a few times on these firesides, so it's nice of you to join these. But definitely, as you guys, you and Chris and Helios are working on your seminars or other incubation, definitely come back in the fireside chats and share those updates with us. We're looking forward to learning more.
Thanks for setting the table for us, Steph.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Morrow in the chat just got home and says he needs 5 more minutes to participate in the raffles. Sorry, Morrow, you are too late for this month. The tickets are, the blends are now deactivated. No one else can blend some tickets. I'm gonna go check it out. Let's see how many people how many tickets we've got for this month. But you can use your pop tokens for the June raffle. And actually, maybe even more stuff in the coming weeks and months. So we're working on expanding a bit the pop token program. We're working on maybe a better bot for Discord, and maybe releasing more prizes type of deal for the pop tokens. Nothing set in stone yet, but it's all something we're working on. So don't feel too bad if you missed this month's draw. There's going to be plenty of ways for you to spend those pop tokens in the future. All right, looks like we've got 28 raffle tickets for the draw that's coming up. So 3 people are not going to win the 5 EOS prize, but those people will get a consolation party cracker prize. Rabbit, were you jumping on to say something?
I think that was me, Dogman,
that was you.
jumping on to say something, but I kind of got confused because I didn't know. I kind of forgot that you were checking that, and so I was just thinking there was a space because there's something I wanted to bring up, but I didn't mean to interrupt though.
All right,
but
I don't know. Okay, sure.
Sorry if that.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So sorry if that was a little bit awkward, but I'd like to share an announcement and update about the Eden Fractal, if that's cool.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Stephane. So we met for the first Eden Fractal meeting this morning, and it was super exciting, and it was a really amazing experience. We've been sharing it. We spoke about it a little bit on the last Fireside chat and on the hot sauce and stuff like that. For people who aren't familiar, it's the Eden Fractal is empowering Eden contributors with EOS and Eden Respect and NFTs. It's basically kind of using the Fractally process, but doing it for the purpose of helping EOS and helping Eden. So we reached consensus with that process in about 45 minutes, and then we distributed about 100 EOS and respect, or well, it hasn't been distributed yet because we're working on getting a smart contract deployed. That'll happen in the next couple of days. And Andrew, sounds good. Sorry for the difficult time. I see Andrew saying that it was 6 a.m. his time, but that's the time that it is right now, and we can figure out times later. But I hope to see you there, Andrew, and I hope to see everybody there. It was a really cool experience. So after the 45 minutes, we were just talking for like an hour or so, and people are really excited about the future of the Eden Fractal. We had about 15 people attend today's event, and there was 12 participants that were in 2 rooms of 6. So and there was Chuck McDonald and Vlad from Consortium, and Felix Reese and Patrick from Nova Crypto, and James Martin Brower, Drain Felipe, James J. Taylor, Marco from EOS Writer, Doug Wu was there, Mel Pierce was there from a train, Joshua Seymour helped a lot with hosting the event, and Chris Barnes joined for a bit via another meeting. So yeah, everyone did really amazing work, and I'm like super grateful for everyone's participation contributions. Just to maybe share a few quick highlights, and I guess feel free to jump in too, because I'm kind of speaking for a while. So if anything's not making sense, then please feel free to jump in. But I will be done soon. So yeah, Chuck made Eden NFTs, and so everyone who participated got an Eden NFT, and of course they look really awesome. Chuck has amazing art, and so that's really appreciated. And Chuck has really cool plans with the Eden NFTs and the Eden Fractal in the future, where everybody can earn them every week. And then also each participant earns EOS and Eden Respect. So I donated 100 EOS this week with Eden creators from funding I raised from Pomelo and Eden. The rank 6 received approximately 20 EOS. Rank 5 received about 12 EOS. Rank 4 receives about 8 EOS, 5 EOS, 3 EOS, and 2 EOS for the following ranks. So everybody who received some EOS, which is cool. The lad from Consortium ranked number 6 in a room. He's building a tool like to make it really easy for people to directly vote and like submit ranks on EOS, and he shared like really cool UI, and he has a bunch of exciting plans. James Mart also helped build a smart contract. It's just an MVP right now, but it basically distributes EOS and respect according to the Fractally process, and makes it a lot simpler, and also allows people to sign an agreement on chain. So super appreciative. Patrick from Nova Crypto also announced that he's donating another 500 EOS to the prize pool for the Eden Fractal. So that'll allow us to keep rewarding Eden contributors with 100 EOS a week for over 2 months. So that's very much appreciated. And then Patrick also hosted an interview with Felix and I about the Eden Fractal a few days ago. You can see that on the Nova Crypto YouTube channel. It was really fun and helpful. And he also made a mind map where you can find timestamps and many links, as well as EdenFractal.com. You can learn more. And then just wrapping up, I guess, with 3 more things. Felix and I also hosted a Eden Town Hall event with Bywire in the Eden Discord this Sunday, and we'll be hosting another one from every Sunday going forward, I think. And so we discussed the Eden Fractal there a bit with some members. It was really great. And then we'll also be hosting those on every Sunday at 16 UTC. Everyone's welcome to join. And then also on Wednesday at 13 UTC, we'll be having the Eden Fractal every Wednesday, and everyone's welcome to join. I hope you can be there. We'll share a good time, and also you can be rewarded for helpful contributions to Eden on EOS. And feel free to reach out with any questions. And yep, you can RSVP at edenfractal.com to learn more. Coming up on Wednesday at 13 UTC, and I'm super appreciative of everybody who participated, and it was really awesome. So I'm super excited for the future, and thank you. I hope that wasn't too much of a ramble, but thank you everybody for listening, and I hope that all made sense.
It was a bit of a ramble, but it made sense, and thanks for sharing.
Okay.
Glad the event went well. No, I was just kidding. Glad the event went well this morning, and yeah, looking forward to more updates from you guys in the weeks to come.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks, Stephane.
All right, I think that's gonna wrap it up. Gonna give you guys another 30 to 60 seconds to share some thoughts or comments, either by text in the stream chat, or just, of course, just jump on stage here with us. Say hi, say bye, share a little update, and then we'll wrap it up.
I was wondering, is there any? I didn't look in the stream in the chat, but is there any planned date for the hackathon, or is it just the structure of it that's been planned and it's still up in the air? Date.
I have not been following super closely the development. I don't know if someone else in this chat has. My guess is that no, there's not a date yet planned. I think it's still just in the planning phase, but I may be wrong. If someone has more information, feel free to jump in and answer the question from Doug.
I want to suggest an idea that sort of combines onboarding junior devs or even people that don't have a background in coding with the hackathon. You know, like do things to where people who don't even know if they want to get into coding or if they're interested in coding at all have an opportunity to participate in the ecosystem in a way that's helpful. You know, maybe it gives them an introduction into coding, but even if they could help, like one of the things I'm thinking of is that even in a hackathon planning, it's like there's so many things going on. If I'm not mistaken, Nathan James just mentioned that there's intent to create a situation where we can have compiled WASM code from like different languages now, or in the near future. And so to me, it's sort of like, before you get too heavy into just hacking away in a hackathon, it's like, take a step back. Go, what are we trying to achieve here? What's the best use of our time? What's the best things to be learning at? And if we can't do it all, you know, what do we limit ourselves to? Things like that. And so Phoenix and we just got back in touch with each other. I sort of fell out of talking with him because when I first came into the ecosystem, I was trying to go through the EOSIO trainings myself and teach like a self-directed course just by getting whoever, you know, together. What ended up happening is he started teaching me, but he was like way ahead of me. I still need to go back through those beginning videos. And if there's anybody out there that's like feeling like they're trying to get involved with the ecosystem and they're confused by a lot of, you know, the definitions of terms and things like that, I don't know if there's anyone out there, but I felt that way for such a long time and still feel that way sometimes. And I want to reach out to all those people, all the people that are new to even blockchain technology. And so if there's any kind of resonance out there with, you know, something, I really feel as though that sort of fits in hand with what Brock Pierce was just talking about in the Helios stream earlier, just that the fact that most of the leaders and people making decisions in positions of power, they don't even understand blockchain technology, you know. So I really like to see the EOSIO ecosystems and the promise it carries, and have that knowledge be available to the whole world and not be like hidden under this veil of FUD and, you know, people holding on to the past or whatever. So that's my spiel.
Right on, good spiel. So open invite, I guess, if I understand, for a study group for people who are getting into coding on EOS. Reach out to Doug. Maybe you guys can go on the learning journey together. And also, you know, that does tie into what Nathan James is going to be doing, but at a much, I guess, broader level, broader sense for all of EOS, to make sure that when the developers do come into the ecosystem, that they have a welcoming place to go with clear information, like you said, and clear, you know, pathways to education and to learning the things they want to learn. But very nice of you, Doug, to offer, you know, offer some of your time to help people that are looking to learn. It's great to hear.
For the hackathon question for timing, there is no fixed time yet. Like, it's still being developed. The plan that we're shooting for is to have the final proposal submitted through to the ENF in about 2 weeks. So if we can get it all done, the community members who are participating, then 2 weeks it's submitted. However long the approval process takes is that we can't control. So hopefully it's a good submission. And then after that, once we kind of get the go and we can sign the check with, or sign the contract with the platform, the hosting platform being suggested, there's about a 5-week window there that's required from their end to sort of build up the platform that the hackathon will run through. So that's the rough timeline. So I can't give a date, but those are the pieces that feed into it in terms of chronology. And then in just the general point on, you know, why do a hackathon now? Maybe the tooling isn't there. It's actually, Gabriel mentioned, it's actually going to be more of an idea-a-thon, where it's a 6-week thing, and at the end of that, no code is really going to be required per se. There has to be someone on the team that's competent to be able to code and build out the final project. But in the end, it's really meant more about curating ideas and business thinking. And that question that Mark had, that's less about the tech and more about what are the businesses that we're actually trying to build. So that's the main focus of the idea-a-thon, hackathon. And I don't think that really conflicts with your point.
Oh, that's awesome that you shared that, because the word hackathon, even as intimate as I am with this community, it like conjures up a completely different notion than what you just said, and I think has a much broader appeal, because I think there's going to be a lot of people that when they hear the word hackathon, they're like, I couldn't participate in that and be of any value, whereas what you're saying sounds
That's me.
much different, right?
Yeah,
So
my ears perked up. No code hackathon. I was like, what? Maybe I'll be able to participate in this hackathon, or this idea-thon. That's that's really great to hear. Looking
I have a
forward.
suggestion. Let's schedule it like 2 weeks after the Singapore event, is my thinking, because by that point, I don't know where Trust EVM will be, but if we can announce it at the Singapore date and really build up a lot of momentum and interest before then, I think it'd be great timing. I don't know what you guys think.
I'm more thinking we want to get this first one done like as soon as possible. I'm driving this as quickly as I can, because the sooner we do this, the sooner we train our people to become better at building businesses, and then we do an EVM. Like, I think, because ideally this is done almost as early as we can, so it doesn't conflict with EVM. Then another one. Then we launch an EVM focus in terms of the theme. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking anyway.
Well, then let's run with it. I mean, then what's holding us back? Let's just get her done, right? I mean, there's no reason to delay any longer, the way I look at it, if that's the case.
Well, missing a plan. So yeah.
Right. Well, yeah. Well,
Let's go build a bridge, right?
All right, sounds good. I'll have to look at that channel now.
All right, great. Thanks for jumping in, Doug. Great conversation, great questions. Thanks for the insights, Chris, once again. All right, we managed to almost go 2 hours once again. I always think these firesides are not going to go that long, because I'm like, oh, the list of topics not that long this week compared to previous weeks, and then we usually end up going long anyways, or like going to the 2 hours, which is a nice length. None of those 7-hour marathons that we've had in the past. Those are rough. All right, I think we're gonna leave it here for everyone. So thanks for joining the EOS Community Fireside Chat. Next week, we'll probably be doing it on Twitter. We're kind of alternating Twitter and Discord week over week. And so thanks for joining. Have a good evening, have a good day, have a good night, whatever it is for you. And we'll see you next week. Go EOS.
Go EOS.
Go EOS. Thank you, Go EOS.
Go EOS.